What's up, guys? It's Rick Schirmer here. I don't even know if we have anybody on still, but we had some technical difficulties and sent out the wrong link, and there's a few things. But here's the great news. The great news is if you're here, you're meant to be here. I strongly believe that the Lord directs your footsteps in life, and you're meant to be where you're meant to be. So if you're here and I'm here, we're meant to be together. So here we go. The great news I got for everybody is that the best news, some of the best news of my life, is that Rachel had open heart surgery last week. If you guys know and follow us on social media, you probably have seen all my posts. And her surgery went amazing. In fact, her excuse me, it was a little scary. I think open heart surgery is probably scary for everybody or anybody who even hears that term. But the great news is that she was super successful with her surgery. So the surgeons were successful. She was super successful. It was a scary moment, but we walked into it with a lot of faith and belief in God and each other. And Rachel is just a true badass trooper. You guys probably know if you guys know her at all. I can't even believe. I mean, the stuff I saw her heroically do was amazing. So I am hitting you guys from Marina Del Rey, California. As you guys probably know, we're from Marina Del Rey here in Los Angeles, and we have a lake house in Lake Las Vegas, and so we go back and forth. We got that lake house during the pandemic, and just as a getaway, and then we wound up loving it, and so we just split our time now, so we love it. So here I am. So, and I am at Alfred's Coffee right now. If you guys know Alfred's, they have delicious coffee. They're not a sponsor right now. They are not a sponsor. I'm just giving them a shameless plug because I love them. And I was over here getting a coffee, and I'm like, oh, I need to go live now. So I just sat down. I'm like, this is a good enough spot. So anyway, hey guys, well, happy Monday, Motivation Monday. Rachel and I decided to start doing these and Launchpreneur primarily because we just care about so many people being able to launch their dreams. It's not like sort of a kind of core moneymaker for us, as my agency, my marketing agency, we do social media and influencer marketing. It's called launchviral.com. Check it out if you guys don't know about it. And then Rachel has the McCord list and has been doing amazing things with the McCord list for the last 10 years. But we had a mutual passion to help entrepreneurs launch and sort of like, just help them and motivate them and help each other and motivate each other and build more community and content that helps people, learn and grow. And that's really why we started doing this. And so we are here. We're still kind of doing some cool stuff. Rachel developed the app herself, and then we're doing a 2.0 version of the app just to give you guys a little teaser called Launch. And we're kind of tweaking stuff to be called Launchpreneur TV on the app. It's going to be like Netflix for entrepreneurs, and we're starting to pull together amazing content that is really helpful to entrepreneurs beyond just us talking. It's we're pulling together. So if you have content or know of anybody that has content that you think is helpful for entrepreneurs, we'd love to set you up with your own series, or get your content out there and help people discover you and the ways that you can help entrepreneurs launch as well. So this is truly a community. We like to call it church for entrepreneurs in a sense, because we want to just help people. As our pastor of our church, Judd Wilhite, who's amazing, our church in Vegas, we have a church in LA too. But our church in Vegas, Judd Wilhite from Central Church is amazing, and he says his passion and his vision is to help people keep going and keep growing, and really that's kind of the core of what we care about for entrepreneurs, to help you keep going and keep growing as entrepreneurs. So, and just life in general. So we love you guys and happy to be here. So. Hopefully there's someone here right now if they're maybe in 15 minutes late. But one thing I want to talk to you guys about today is mind your own business. Now, I had this teacher when I was a kid. Her name was Miss Offord like Oxford, but without the, well, no, kind of without the X. But Miss Offord, she had really big eyes, and she would be like, MYOB, MYOB. Mind your own business. And that's what she would say to us all the time. I'll never forget. I love it when people have a shtick. If you guys know me at all, my shtick is always launch. And part of the reason I'm care about that is because I just want to see people just taking a step of faith in themselves and belief in themselves and go do the thing that they have in their mind to do and not waste their life or waste their dreams, because dreams are valuable. In fact, dreams are the things that keep you alive. So whether it's a side hustle or it's a full-time hustle, whatever that dream is, I'm a big proponent of people launching and going for it so they don't look back with regret one day. Because even if you fail, who cares? The reality is a way bigger fail is looking back with regret. But MYOB, mind your own business. This is the thing. When it comes down to it, and this is there's never been a true time in my life to actually say this, but it is a um, it is a important thing to know that you look where you go. You look where you go. So when I was okay, if you guys know, I work at Chick-fil-A, and their marketing. I've been doing influencer and viral marketing for Chick-fil-A for 15 years now, plus different projects and things like that. You know, over the years, it's been a blast working on some really cool stuff right now. Um, but we went on. I was invited. If you guys know me, I kind of like jump before I look sometimes, and I was, especially when it comes time to spending time with people, because I'm all about quality time. And so the owner of Chick-fil-A invited me to go on a motorcycle ride, and this big ride for the family. They love family, which if you guys know Chick-fil-A, it's this big family. And I was like, yeah, I'll go on a motorcycle ride for the family. Done, coming. But the thing is I'd never ridden a motorcycle my entire life. So, uh, well, anyway, it was 9 months before the ride, and I thought, great, I'll figure it out. I'll learn how to ride a bike before we go. Well, anyway, about 2 weeks before the ride, they reach out to me and say, "Hey, ready for this ride?" And I'm like, "I still don't know how to ride a bike. I don't have a license or anything." So I literally, and this is the owner of Chick-fil-A, is my boss, one of my clients. And so I'm like, I gotta go, gotta hustle, make this happen. So I literally go to the DMV, the crash course, a test, and then I go into. In fact, there's this wonderful guy named Chris Carr, who in Atlanta, who knows the Chick-fil-A family really well, the Kathy family, and he decides to give me a tutorial in a parking lot. Well, one of the most important things that he taught me was you go where you look. So if you guys ride motorcycles, you understand, like, it's very physical. It's very physical. So you get on the bike, and literally wherever you look, you actually go. Your body responds to it. So you kind of have to be hyper aware of everything in your peripheral vision, and aware of things, and know what is real, and know what is a danger, and know all these different things. And it's exhausting to ride a motorcycle because you just have to be so hyper aware, hyper aware, right? It's fun though. It's very fun. You kind of feel like you're flying, which is why so many people ride motorcycles. So I'm just like in this kind of hyper alertness, and then you have to go. Well, anyway, I turned out to go right. I finished this little parking lot lesson. I got my motorcycle license, and I ran this ride to the family. We were going 120 miles an hour with police escorts through from Atlanta down through Muscle Shoals, Alabama, cutting across all the way up Alabama to the switchbacks in the Rocky Mountains. I mean, this is crazy. I've never ridden a bike before, guys. And literally, like, Dan Cathy, who's the owner of Chick-fil-A, CEO, he kept on doing this to me the whole time because I kept on trailing in the back. But we were going like, sometimes with these police escorts, there were stretches on the freeway. We were going like 120. Anyway, it was a wild experience. I remember, I'll never forget, it was with my buddy Ross Cathy, who's Dan Cathy's son. And I got on the freeway for the first time. He was like, "Hey, let's go to the Harley dealership." And I'm like, "Okay, the Harley dealership. Okay, cool. Well, this would be a nice little test." Well, I didn't know we had to get on the freeway to go in the test. It was just like normal freeway riding on bikes, and everybody's just zooming. Oh my gosh, was I scared? Well, anyway, the reason I'm saying all this, and I think is going to be helpful to you, is that in business, you look where you go. You go where you look. Now, what does that mean in business? What that means is you have to have a clear vision for where you want to head. You have to have a clear mission of what you're here to do. Otherwise, you're just going to start pedaling your wheels. Now, I don't care if it's your vision or your mission for your company. That's cool on a macro level. But even when it comes to your objectives for, like, on a micro level, what am I doing this week? What are my goals for this week? What are my goals for this month? What are my goals for this year? So you need to kind of build it out like this. We need to think about, sorry, my Siri's trying to all of a sudden just out of the blue. Listen to me. So we need to think about this. Think about it like this. What is my vision? Okay, this is like a vision. What I like to call K. Back, none of us were alive back then, but JFK decided that he wanted to put a man on the moon. Okay, and he had this vision, and he if you guys know your history, he said, "Oh, we're going to put a man on the moon in 10 years." This is probably like in 1950 or something like that. I don't know. No, sorry, 1960. And NASA didn't know. NASA had no idea how they're going to put a man on the moon. He just said it in a speech one day, and literally NASA was scrambling, going like, "We're going to put a man on the moon in 10 years." Like what? Well, he put the vision out there. It was a big, hairy, audacious goal called a BHAG. This big, hairy, audacious goal, man on the moon in 10 years. And we're just like, oh my gosh. And NASA's like, oh, how are we going to do this? Well, what they did was they put together these Apollo. They put together this Apollo space series. Like they had Apollo 1, Apollo, they made a movie about them. And that's kind of like, I'm going to simplify it, but basically the way that they did is they said like, hey, if we're putting on the moon, we need to start with Apollo, and Apollo is going to have like this many missions. I think maybe had 15 or 20 missions or whatever. I think they made a movie called Apollo 11 or something like that, Apollo 13, and with Tom Hanks a while back. But the idea was we're going to put on the man on the moon through this Apollo space series, and they did. But they had each different series had its own goals, right, and that led all the way to the moon and the moon series and all that stuff. Well, anyway, the reason I'm saying all that is that things break down. Things break down in what's going to be to individual objectives as you have like the bigger ones. So create your vision, your big hack, your big hairy audacious goal. Know where you're going. There's a scripture I can't remember. I think it was a proverb or scripture in the Old Testament of the Bible or the Torah or whatever you call it if you're Jewish or Christian. Um, the it basically said, "Without a vision, the people perish." Okay, without a vision, the people perish. If you don't know where you're going, right? And I say this a lot of times to clients that I work with. I'm like, okay, if you know you want to get across, let's say the Sierra Nevada mountains right here in California and Nevada. If you want to go to the Sierra Nevada mountains and track over them, like you're never gonna live, you're never gonna make it if you don't have a map and a guide and a vision for how to get there, right? So why do people start their businesses without a real clear map and vision? Well, okay, on a macro level, we know where we want to go, got that. But then how do we map out our points along the path that are ultimately going to help us get there? So the same thing with our businesses. And if you're launching something new, whether it's something you have not launched before or something that you're currently doing, this is true for us, as well. Like I have a goal in my business, Launch Viral, that we want to have, onboard 5 new clients a week. So my sales assistant, Brian knows that like, hey, we're going to bring on 5 new clients a week. And by the way, we have clients big and small. We have clients like, big like Chick-fil-A and small like, brand new people who are, start and barely capitalized, but having that full range because it keeps us sharp on every level in what we do. So, so 5 new a week. Okay, cool. That's our goal. And last week we achieved that goal. Cool. But not every week we achieve it. But just so you guys know, like, what is that on a micro level for you guys, so you know what your goals are, and then how do you get into that goal? It's like, oh, how many phone calls do you do? How many meetings? How many sales meetings do you do to lead to the win of that? And then the ultimate goal, getting 20 new clients in a month, and then that leads into your revenue for the year. So as far as sales goals, that's just kind of a kind of an easy small example to bring to you guys. But for you guys, what I'd say like is create a plan, and what I'd recommend doing is putting it on one page, and keep a really clear idea. Break it down on a micro level onto one page, because if you don't have a one page, or I call this the one page plan. If you've got a big, thick business plan, then you need an executive summary. The reason that you have an executive summary for your boss or for anybody, if you're doing a full business plan, the executive summary is so you can quickly skim it and see what's happening. So I'd recommend starting your whole plan, whatever your plan is, with a one-page executive summary, right? And then right from there, one-page table of contents, executive summary, and state it really clearly what your goal is. Because if you don't, it's going to wind up being this big, thick plan that's going to have too much information. You're never going to look at it. You need something you can look at every day, and you could tape it to your wall and I recommend that. I recommend, because I'm looking at my computer right now. I'm looking on my phone. Got them side by side right now. Um, the reason that I recommend that for you guys is because it's easy to see what your vision is, your dream board, basically, we're talking about, is it's in your face. Because as soon as it's on your phone, as soon as it's in your computer, you can kind of like push it away. And what happens? We get really busy with activity, right? We get real busy with activity, and we're just busy doing stuff, during the week. Well, it's like imagine you're on a boat here, right here in the marina, right? There's like a million boats back there. Um, Imagine you're on a boat and you just look at the water right in front of you, and you're literally powerboat, or you're rowing, right? Whatever it is. You even on a boat, you got to look at the horizon, just like the motorcycle, and see where you want to go and keep your eye. If you want to go to Catalina Island out here, you got to keep your eye on Catalina. If you're just looking right in front of you, or keep your eye on your map or whatever. But your sonar or whatever that is. But anyway, my point is that as you get busy with activity, and we get busy with activity, we need to put that vision in front of us of where we're going. We need to remind ourselves, because guys, it's so easy to get swept in the currents. It's so easy to get swept into activity and miss what we're even doing the activity for. and by the way, it's not just easy with that. Now, imagine for us to get mixed. I mean, we're the leaders of our companies. We're the entrepreneurs, right? Imagine the other people in your company or the people you're hiring, if they're not clear, they're going to be, because they're on even a more micro level. They're the ones who are just like rowing and doing stuff, right? If they don't know where we're going, and you got to constantly be recalibrating and looking back at what you're doing. Row, 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 power, 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 look, 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 row, 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 power, 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 look, look, look. You have to mind your own business. You have to mastermind your own business. So MYOB, mastermind your own business, as my teacher, Miss Offord, would say. Mind your own business. I'm going to say mastermind your own business, because you are the master of your business. You are the mastermind of your own business, and we're here to help you do that. I'm going to take some questions. If you guys want to hop in with some questions, I'm going to let Brian shoot them over to me. I'm not sure if they come in here. By the way, sorry guys, we're a little bit more prepared today, but we, like I told you, wifey had open heart surgery last week. And if you guys hopped on a little bit late, then welcome, and I'm super happy you're here. But the topic is mastermind your own business. I'm going to give you a quick recap. The idea is to put a vision out there, remember where you're heading, take a look at where you want to go, be clear with your vision, be clear with your mission, be clear with your purpose. Those things are super key. Then keep those on your wall, and then put a plan of what you want to do. Break it down into a monthly and a weekly plan and goals, so that way we don't get lost. We can put your plan out for the year, and then you got that, and you need to break that down into the month, and then break that down into weeks, and then you need to keep it really, really clear in your mind of what you are doing each week. And then it's important to reassess. I'd say, like on a monthly basis, it's important to reassess how those activities are helping you get to your goal, and that you can tweak your plan, your weekly, monthly plan accordingly. You want to tweak your weekly and your monthly plan accordingly to see if it's helping you achieve that, because you want to help get your strategies right that going to lead to the tactics that are helping you get to your overall goal. Because if it's not, you need to change your plan. Plans are meant to be iterated. So if something's failing and it's not working, don't worry about it. No worries. It's exactly what should be happening. I saw a whole thing with Elon Musk, and he saw, like, he sees a rocket blow up when it's going to space. They all cheer. I don't know if you guys have watched this. They have a great culture at SpaceX where you see everybody cheer when a rocket blows up. You're like, oh my gosh, it didn't achieve its mission. They're like, yep, we got all sorts of interesting data. So we're super happy. So that's what you get. You get data back. So failure is a dumb word, to be honest. Failure is just data. It's just data for iteration. So, in the business world anyway. So failure really shouldn't even be we need a new brand for failure, because it's really just about iteration. And if you guys know any mega successful people, you'll know that they're very comfortable with what we call failure because of that. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to take a couple questions. That was just kind of a quick little recap. And let me just see. I think Brian had sent me a couple questions here. Let me just pop on. I hear someone's baby in the back, which sounds real cute because it's probably my baby. Kaylee said, "So good. Rachel's recovered. Yes. So she is recovered. Rachel is doing super well, and she's literally. I can't even tell you how grateful I am. It's incredible. But she's in the middle of recovering. I wouldn't say she's recovered, but she's at this stage. She's recovered from what she's been through. She's got a lot of stuff to do. I think that Rachel, my son, may have said, "Hi, Daddy. How'd you figure this stuff out?" But yeah, so Rachel's doing great at this point. She had open heart surgery about 3 days ago. She is home back to her condo in the marina and recovering really nicely. She's in a lot of pain, as you can imagine. It's pretty scary to go through open heart surgery. That's like one of the mothers of all surgery. So, but the guys at Cedars-Sinai did an amazing job. Her doctor, surgeon, Joanna Chikwi, was incredible, and said that the surgery was a big success. And we're just kind of going through the recovery process right now, or she is. And I was, part of the reason I was a little late today was that we were counting pills this morning. So, we thought about not doing the live today, but we really wanted to, and Rachel wanted to cheer me on to go hop on for her, so we didn't want to leave you guys hanging on Motivation Monday. So, we love you guys too much. So that's what's going on. And I'm here at Alfred's in Marina Del Rey. You can see people walking behind me, but I got a fresh coffee. That's all that matters. I think there's another question, or I think there's another part of your question. You said, "Oh, Rachel's on here. She is snorting. Hey, Rach, I love you, baby." She's laying in bed right now. I'm gonna go get a wheelchair for her right after this, guys. So this is all real life. This is real life. I told my pastor, I told you guys, Jed Wilhite from Central Church. I said, I feel like we're adulting. We're finally really adulting. And he was like, he's like, dude, you are full blown adulting. You're like so adulting. I mean, man, this is some serious adulting going on right now, guys. But you asked about the directory. So the directory is on pause. We decided to put it on pause for a couple reasons. One is we just got too much going on with the heart surgery, and you can only handle so many things in your hands at one time. So we are hitting a pause on the directory right now. Sorry if we haven't communicated that, but we've had our hands pretty full. We are doing a version of the directory with one client exclusively, and letting that kind of roll out with them as we kind of do some beta testing. And with them, it's I won't say who, but it's a very well-known brand that you guys would probably for sure know about, and it's a nationwide brand as well. So we're starting in a local market and then expanding it with all of our stuff there. It's just an easier, more bite-sized way to get that going, and that's all happening under the Launch Viral brand. But it's all just too much in our hands right now. So anyway, sorry again for not letting you know about that. I probably should have gotten the word out to you guys faster, but as you guys know, we had to get into surgery pretty urgently. Rachel was diagnosed with a severe mitral valve disease, and they had to fix it pronto. They were like urgently getting her in for that. So appreciate you guys on your patience on all levels. But we love you guys. So thanks, Katie, for asking that question. I'm gonna take another question here. Brian's kind of feeding me some of these, so I'm just gonna pop in. Zahara. Wait, I thought we were meeting at 12 p.m. EST. Yeah, I think it is 12 p.m. EST, so it's 9. 9 here is 12 there. So, yep, that is 12 p.m. EST. We were just late because, like I was telling you before, I was counting pills for Rachel this morning, and we were kind of like doing a bunch of stuff. She's got like literally about like a big bag, this big, full of pills that she has to take in her healing process. So I was a little late. But you guys, let me know if you guys have any more questions here, because that is all I got for you this week. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll give you that quick recap again. It is minding your own business, masterminding your own business, MYOB. How do you mastermind your own business? Because the reality, guys, is that you cannot hire somebody to do this kind of stuff for you. you cannot you cannot you cannot mastermind you can have ask somebody else to run your own business. You are the mastermind of your own business, so you got to think this through. Think through your goals on a yearly level. Now we have I work for Disney, still one of my clients, and work with them on and off various projects over the years. But I used to work internally at Disney in corporate strategy and corporate alliances, and we had to do these things called a 5-year plan. And this is really funny because I was kind of new in business at the time, hadn't got my MBA yet. I was working on it at night, and I remember we were working on the 5-year plan for the company, the whole Disney company. No pressure, and I was like, well, why did we just do the 5-year plan like last year? And I didn't realize that you do a 5-year plan every year because you have to iterate. The business change, the business itself iterates. So every year you do a 5-year plan. So sure, do a 5-year plan. Think about where you want to be in 5 years. Break that down to what you're going to do this year. Break that down to what you're going to do each month. Break that down to what you're going to do each week. Iterate as necessary throughout that time, and make sure that your tactics and those things that you're doing are helping you achieve the things that you want to do, your weekly and your monthly goals that are going to help you get to your yearly goals. It's really that simple. It's just like climbing over a mountain. But if you don't mastermind your own business, you're just going to be treading water. That's the bottom line. So don't want to see you guys doing that. And I've done that myself. So no judgment if that's how you're rolling. How is the McCordless incorporated with the business? I'm not sure I understand that question, Amanda. What do we do? What do we have access to? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I'll just tell you what I think you mean. So the McCordless, so we have a company. Our company is, our family company. We own it, and we have different divisions. So our divisions are Launch Viral, the McCordless, and now Launchpreneur. And we're helping Launchpreneur, which is really kind of what the content that we're creating right here is all about. Is like, we're launching Launchpreneur TV, and so what we're doing is we're creating content and community, right? Content and community to help people. That's, we call it Church for Entrepreneurs, because we just want to help people keep going and keep growing. Like I was saying, our pastor of our church says, in a kind of a faith-based context. In this one, we're talking about a business context. We want to help people keep going and growing, right? So that's Launchpreneur. And then I think what we've learned over time is that we really think is the most valuable to people is community and content, those two things. And so Launchpreneur, we're kind of making a little bit of a pivot to be Launchpreneur TV, and we're in the middle of developing a really cool TV app that Ina on our team has taken lead on. And there's some cool, it's going to be very cool. It's going to have a TV app on Roku. It's going to have be on Android and on Apple Store, and then also just online at launchpreneur.tv. So that's kind of what's going on there. The McCordless, Rachel's run for 10 years, and that's her division that she runs. It's all about fashion and beauty. We have a big partnership with TikTok, and that's really our focus. Her focus on that, and then Launch for TV we run together. Launch Viral is our agency that I run primarily, and so my focus has been doing that. I've been, if you guys know, kind of a specialist in this business for 20 years, early pioneer in the influencer and viral and social media marketing space. Been doing this since the MySpace days, pretty much my whole career since I was a kid. So that's kind of that. But I think, Amanda, hopefully that gave you some answers there in terms of the McCordless. There's one of the big things with the McCordless is that they're helping. McCordless and Rachel are really helping people get into TikTok Shop and help them to build their own businesses. What Rachel really cares about, because she's done so much in fashion and beauty, is helping women have their, be able to develop their own business and be able to monetize and actually make a way for themselves. I had a single mom growing up, and there's just a lot of influencers and creators who are out there who are figuring out how to monetize. So Rachel has really taken the lead in helping develop TikTok Shop here in the United States over the last 2 years almost, or maybe a little longer than a year for sure. So Rachel's been on the front end of that. We've been in New York City at TikTok's offices and here in LA, and we're very close. And so just even the concept of TikTok Shop here in the US, Rachel's really helped develop that with TikTok. And so we have a special access and ins at TikTok to help people who are part of the McCordless community get in and get started. So whether you're a creator or you're a business and that you have a shop, Rachel, if people who are on the McCord list have a special thing there with Rachel. So anyway, that's that. If that answers your question, I don't know if that does, but hopefully that does. And let me see. That was from Amanda, by the way. I think, Kate, I think you had another question. If you guys ever needed help with me on Monday morning calls. Oh, you're so sweet. Well, I mean, Rachel runs stuff, as you guys know, like clockwork. My wife's amazing. She's a force. Her main assistant also had a health issue too. So we just had like a bunch of little things that popped up. So so this Monday morning is we're kind of like juggling, but we just did not want to leave you guys hanging. We wanted to keep the things flowing and growing, and keeping you encouraged. But yeah, Launchpreneur really, this is our core passion to help our friends. This is not about making money at all for us because we have our businesses. We really care about helping our fellow entrepreneurs and creators get there. So we're excited. But I hear that my internet is getting a little choppy, and it might be because I'm here at the coffee shop, Alfred's Coffee. I could probably switch over to my phone. Let me see if that's going to help. Previous MLM cryptocurrency company. Oh, that's cool. Really cool. Yeah, we have as far as MLMs go, we have a friend, Melina. I think she's on here. She's a real rock star in the whole. Oh my gosh, what's the name of that company? Cosmetic hair company. What's the name of that company? Shoot, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, oh no, hold on. Sorry guys, I'm just having a brain fart. But anyway, she's awesome, and MLMs are great. Love people figuring out how to make money through. Oh, Monet, thank you, Rachel. Monet, yeah, a lot of people. That's gotten real popular across the country. So we always like to give Melina shout outs for Monet because I call them monadics. And then Melina was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to use that." The monadic. She's a monadic. So, and I love her, and she's amazing. She's got so much passion for this product. It's crazy. And if you guys want, I basically say it's like the new Mary Kay. It's the new Avon. Like our parents' generation was kind of like into Mary Kay and Avon. Monet's like the new one. It seems like, from my perspective that. But yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, what's kind of cool is that they got these apps, and you can kind of see your dashboards and really clear, be very, very clear about how you can make money and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, I am getting a call from Cedar Sinai, so give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to put you on pause. This is Rachel's surgeon, so hold on 1 second.